something interesting happened. Where I live, they were asking all the residences to go out and get new resident cards. So I applied and I got it today. So I went to the management office and I went to collect my card. And so that's the card. I'm not too sure if you can see it. So like it has a picture of me, obviously. And then it's my name written there. And then it says resident and owner, right? Yeah, nothing big of a deal. But when I saw the card, I was like, wow, it says like I own this place. Interesting thing, about 4 years ago, when I was looking to rent at that time a studio for like my work, where I could come in and get my work done and meet my clients and all of that. So I was looking for a place and I walked into this place, and as the agent was showing me, I was here with my sister to view. I viewed a few places, right? And this was, I think, like the last one that I was gonna see. And when I walked into like the whole premise, I was like, oh my god, wow, like I love this place. It's beautiful. Like everything is just so nice. Like it's like a hotel, you know, like it would be so nice to like live here, like so nice to work here. It's like just perfect. And anyway, I signed the lease and I rented the place for a couple of years. And out of nowhere, I was actually honestly not, I mean, I've always wanted to, like, I wanted to own a place. I wanted to, you know, like have my own place. And that was like a big goal of mine for like quite a number of years. But I didn't really plan on when, how, where. Now, it was always like a nice idea for me to like own this place that I'm at right now, like which I was renting earlier, but I never really thought about it too much. I just thought, wow, that would be amazing, right? So all of a sudden, this whole opportunity dropped, and my at that point of time, the owner from whom I was renting was actually looking to sell this unit. And he approached me and he was like, hey, you know, you've been renting now for like almost 3 years now. Would you be interested to actually buy it? And I was like, wow, you know, that would be amazing. So anyway, I spoke to family and, you know, like everything. And it was like, okay, I think this is like a green light. And I had saved up quite a bit. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. It was like a big commitment for me, you know, like even at that time, which was like one year ago. But I just knew that this was something that I really wanted to do, not just because it was a goal of mine for a long time, but it was something that I knew would make me just so happy, because I just really loved the place and it made me feel so good and it was so peaceful, and I just knew that it was like meant to be, right? So putting all that aside, you know, I did what I had to do, got the place, and just looking at this card and seeing the fact that it says like I actually did this, like I actually got this place, for me is like a big deal. Only because for those of you who might know me quite well, I did not come from a rich background at all. You know, we have had very humble beginnings. My family did really well back when I was in Brunei, and then my dad left, and when that happened, we went through a lot of shit, because my mom was like a single working mom and she was a school teacher, and that was not really sufficient to bring up 3 kids, and I was the eldest, and I was studying, you know, here at that time in Malaysia, because I'm from Brunei. So my family was back there, and we went through some really shitty times, really shitty times. Like I remember there was a time when like even buying food was a challenge, and you know, my mom like actually used to milk so what am I saying, milk, sorry, my mom actually used to add water in milk so that it would last longer, right? So yeah, things were hard. And growing up like that, and after once I finished my studies, and I went back home to work for a couple of years, and I was doing a job that I absolutely hated. There was nothing wrong with the job itself, right? But I didn't like it, and I knew that it was not for me. Like, I was not supposed to be doing this. And I remember I was sitting in a Scrabble class. I was teaching in a school, and I was sitting in like a Scrabble class because it was CCA at that time, and I was supposed to be, you know, I was one of the supervising teachers for the kids. And I was reading this book by Joel Austin, and one of the things that he said that hit me so hard goes something like this. And it said that if you feel deep in your heart that what you're doing right now is not for you, then you have to know that that is not God's plan for you, that there is something else out there, that God has another plan for you, and you need to find it. Now, I still remember this was a good 12 years ago. And I still remember when I read that, I actually started tearing because I could just resonate so well with that whole thing. Like, I just got it. And finally, I felt like, okay, like, this is not it. Because for all this while, I was, you know, in my mind, I was like, is this how my life is going to be? Like, is this it? Like, am I never going to be happy? Am I never going to live a life doing something I enjoy doing, like waking up and looking forward, going to work, looking forward to start the day? Like, am I never going to have that because I'm not going to be given the opportunity? And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, like, no, you know, this is not it. There's something bigger out there for you, and you need to make it happen. And that was like the starting point for me. And I became so stubborn in my head that I would not settle for something that is not, like, if I know that it's not meant for me, if I know that it's not making me happy on the inside, I'm not gonna settle for it. And I don't mean by petty things, like, you know, like materialistic things. That's not what I mean. But things that really resonate with your heart, like your job, like how you want to live your life, what kind of house you want to live in, what kind of people you want to surround yourself with, what kind of friends you want to have, what kind of relationships you want, what type of connection you want to build with people, what do you want to leave in the world behind that people will remember you by. Like, all these things that meant so much to me. Like, I knew that there was more that I could bring to the table, that I could offer. And that's when it all started. And 1 year after that, I left the job. I came here. And for a good 1 year, I was jobless, right? And I wasn't really looking for a job either, because I kind of knew that I did not want to work in a company, unless, of course, it was a company that I really, really would love to be a part of. Like, one such company is Mindvalley in Malaysia. I absolutely love what they do. But other than that, I was not interested. I even got interviews that came to me because, like, friends would set me up and be like, hey, you know, like, go for this interview, like, you know, just see what happens. And they would actually, like, tell me, okay, you know what, I think I'm going to give you the job. And I actually rejected it. Like, twice it happened. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? Because I was actually broke. Like, I did not have any money. Anyway, soon after that, everything just sort of happened. Like, that's a whole nother story in itself. And I came into the whole makeup business, and I started doing makeup for events and weddings and such. And my whole business grew, and it's been 9 years now. And I'm, you know, like, that was one of the biggest achievements that I did. But the point is not the fact that I have a business right now, or, you know, it's not that. My point is that you need to have a plan. You need to know what your goal in life is. Now, I know that everybody talks about, oh, you need to set your goals. You need to set, what is your 2019 resolution? You know, what is your ambition? What do you want to do with your life? I know that everybody talks about it. And people are like, oh, you know, like, I'm sick and tired of hearing this. Like, just leave me alone. I get it, right? It is kind of overrated. But you got to sit and ask yourself, now, you're not doing this for anybody else. It's about you, right? And you have been like, we have been blessed with this one life. And if you're not gonna do what you want to do with it, what is the point of this whole life? It's not about just living it day to day, doing stuff that you have to do just because you need to survive. Like, it's not survival of the fittest. Like, no, it's more than that. And I realized this 10 years ago, because that's what I was doing. I was just surviving, and I hated it. And I was afraid that my whole life was going to be like this. Like, it's never going to change. Like, this is it. This is why people say life sucks, you know, like, it's there, right there. Like, my reality was shit. But no, you need to have a plan. You need to sit down and you need to ask yourself, what is it that you want to bring to the table? Like, if people say your name, what do you want people to remember you for? Like, who are you and what are you capable of? What do you want to bring to the table? What are the goals that you want to achieve? And goals, not meaning the car or the house. No, all that will come if it's supposed to, and if it happens, great, right? But what I mean is more than that. What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to wake up every day and be excited? Because that's how it should be. Now, I know it's easier said than done, but the actual work is in figuring out what is it that is going to make you excited to live. What are those things? What are your dreams? What is inside you that you know you want to put out there? Is it music? Is it fashion? Is it writing? Is it acting? Is it playing football? Like, it could be anything. And if you have it in you, there's a reason why it's there, and you need to put it out, and you need to do whatever that you need to do to put it out, right? Now, you could be even like excellent at the job that you are in. Now, give it your all. Like, be the best that you can be the best version that you can be. And that's when everything shifts for you. That's when life happens for you. That's when things just fall into place. And that's when you can go to bed every night feeling like, it might not be perfect, but I'm happy where I am right now. You know, like, I still have things that I want to achieve. I still have things that I want to do. I still have places I want to go. Like, everybody does. It's like never ending. It never stops. But you need to be at peace on the inside. And that you can only do when you have a vision and have a plan, and you have direction as to where you want your life to go. And I cannot stress this enough. I still have a lot of things that I want to do. I've not even started, right? Like, I'm really happy and grateful for everything that I have and that I've been through, and the people that I've met. Like, to me, ultimately, like, it's like the biggest blessing, right? And the experiences that I have gained. But there's still a lot more out there that I need to do and that I want to do. But the most important thing for me is not about, at this point of time that I know a bit better, it's not about when am I going to achieve it, or when is it going to happen, or what is it that it's going to come my way. No, it's not really about that. But it's about my mindset, that I know for like 100% that if I want something, if I know that that's what's going to make me happy, if that's what's going to light up my soul, like light up my heart and make me smile from the inside, nothing is going to stop me. Like, nothing. I can be broke, like I can be dead ass broke. I cannot have one person who is going to support me. I can have people telling me I'm crazy, because I've had people tell me I'm crazy. But no, like, I'm not going to give that up just because of all these things. If I feel it in my heart that this is what I'm meant to do, and this is the kind of life that I am meant to lead, then that's what I'm going to go after. And how you get there is, it will happen, right? My path can be different from your path, and your path can be different from someone else's path. That's not the issue. The point is, it will happen, but you need to have a vision. You need to know that it is possible. It's not far-fetched. It's not like you talking about fantasies that might never happen. It will happen, but you need to make it happen. Your dreams are just all out there waiting for you to act, waiting for you to know what they are and act on them. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what kind of situation you are in. Like, I was not in the perfect situation when I decided to change my life. I was in fact in a very shitty situation, and sometimes being in the worst points of your life, like, you know, the darkest points in your life, is actually a blessing in disguise. Because if I had not gone through what I had gone through, I don't think I would have got the strength to push when I would have given up very easily, right? So hard times are necessary. That's what builds you. That's what makes you strong on the inside, to enable you to go after what you want. But you need to definitely acknowledge the fact that you're going to go after what you want. You need to come to that decision, and once you do, there's no turning back. So, you know, dream big. Like I always say, people may call you crazy. I've been called crazy many times, but you know what? Like, I'm happy, and that's what matters the most. So